Yo, guys, my name is Rudo, and this is the Trade for a Living podcast. So, what did we say last week? Basically, if I go to Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame, I mean, this was as good a buy zone as they come. We were hoping that we were going to reject it around 93 as a first analysis. I have to be honest with you guys, I was short-term bearish on the move, meaning that we reject there and maybe sweep into this demand zone. But when we got there, the market pushed up nicely. And the big question that I had to everybody is, are we going to turn $96,000 into support, which we did? So we hovered above 96 and we didn't really, break out, to come back and test it, other than that we had this, this momentum move at around 98. So, and then when we hit the imbalance, so the argument was that if we're in this area, the worry was, are we going to create hidden bearish divergence? So we avoided that area completely. So the imbalance didn't end up selling price down, because there was this Hail Mary play that I was hoping, if this happens and we move into this imbalance for Bitcoin on the 4-hour, we could potentially push back down to the previous area of support, which means we can still go and test that $96,000 level and then rally. So we didn't do that. We avoided creating divergence and we pushed on. So what did we do? We made a higher high on the RSI, a higher high in price, and the market still then remains uber bullish. Okay, so the argument is this Trump pump. What's going to happen now? How's this thing going to move a little bit further? Now, the rule is with anything when you do technical analysis, if a good buy zone, say you were marking out a buy zone on your trading and you're investing for that matter, if it fails, the reality is if you did it right, the next time around, price must come and test it. So we marked out this as an area of resistance. So the next time round, if it fails, price will come and turn that into support. That's the key. So the fact that we turned this into support means that this move is still running. But here's the catch now. As the move is running, you're getting those guys that are a little hesitant. Should I be buying? Should I be grabbing in? Is this a shorts? The shorts that they get squeezed and so forth. And these are all valuable. Not the right word. Valiant. No, it's not right. But they're all realistic analysis to have. Is this a short squeeze and we're going to dump down? And the way that I look at this is simple. Okay. We are clearly in a situation where there's a hell of a lot of momentum for Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the 13th of January, a week ago, we were sitting at 90. Now we're sitting at 107. And as long as that momentum is there, you treat this kind of analysis, any bearish thesis that you can find online, because you're going to get the guys saying, okay, but there you're going, making a higher high. There's the higher high and lower low on the RSI. You treat this as the market is just cooling off for the next push. Because remember, it can't just keep on pushing forever. So what needs to happen for your trading, your swing trading now on the 4-hour, you can use this entire zone here. And I always say we tend to stay above the pivot, but we can wick through the pivot. So let's just make it, because it's so volatile, make it fair and easy enough so that you can get in. You need to use this entire zone as a continuation for more. So any pullbacks that we do have, shakeouts, if it tags that line, you can grab and buy it, but you need to understand that your invalidation is there. Why do I say put my invalidation here? Well, simple. We finished the business here. I don't want to see price go back into this range, because if it does, then this was just a shakeout. Then the shakeout is a reality. This was a shakeout, and then we could potentially still see a few lower areas. Okay, so remain bullish, keep it simple. And an and. Now, news-wise, just as a quick, you're starting for the beginning of the week. Today is a banking holiday, so the market could be choppy. A lot of the liquidity is not participating in the market. So market makers, the order book itself, and literally just the thesis behind market maker theory is that, or auction theory is that price is going to look for liquidity. So wait for crazy stops to get hit like these ones. If it shakes down, all these buyers now will be, confused. And why is it not going any further? Look for those kind of things. Look for where you think everybody else is going to lose. Try and enter on those positions, and keeping in mind that because the market is looking for liquidity, although I say it has no business to move in this range, just kind of give yourself a little bit of a wider berth for any trades that you take, because it's going to shake us out and hurt us. Okay, so In addition to this, Ethereum, same thing. Let's quickly have a look at Ethereum on the 4-hour time frame. I'm just going to quickly bring that out because I made a tweet yesterday and I said alt season starts Monday. So the market now, Bitcoin is rallying up, and yet again, some of the alts are not doing anything. I'm looking at the alts on exchanges here and on prices here, and it just feels like, come on, it's just Bitcoin. So the excitement is here, but it's just Bitcoin. And then I see a question here for Solana as well. So Solana is also moving. So let's start with Ethereum, because Ethereum is still, you see Solana's pumping and nothing's happening in the alt. So it's still based on ETH. You need alt season, ETH needs to rally. Okay, so real quick, ETH on the larger time frame, it's still bearish. It's still tracking in this bearish momentum. And it means that while Bitcoin is still finding some sort of a base or building a base to break out, I'm going to go back to Bitcoin, building a base to break out. So it can do this, rally a little bit higher, come back and test this. It can come right back to 105. And that would potentially bring your Ethereum back into a buy zone at 2.8 or something like that. Once ETH breaks this bearish trend, and it could happen right now, that this is the move that does that. But in order to do that, you need to go through the interzone. So once ETH breaks that, that's when the alt season is going to happen. Now, yesterday, when I made that tweet, we really looked really good for that to happen. So this sell-off is basically just the market looking for a little bit more liquidity and a little bit more of everybody's money. Now, let's take this over and let's have a look at Solana real quick, because obviously this thing is flying like stink. So what's the rule with Solana, guys? Very simple. You remain bullish on this. The first pivot on the RSI has now been created, okay? So you now need to be patient. Keep it in there. Understand that with this RSI tracking, you can see it's not tracking the same momentum as price. You're going to have that scenario where Solana is going to potentially go push, make a higher high, tag the $300 level, and at that stage, turn this into support. That's your time to buy. That's how you buy a breakout pump. Wait for the strong bearish divergence to come and buy I bet the support's going to hold for continuation, like we did with BTC. Okay. And you keep on doing that until it fails. When it fails, then at least you know. Then there's no action that you can take without the repercussion of risk, that uncertainty. Is this definitely going to work or not? Okay. So you just need to be fluent and flexible enough to say that, okay, I'll wait. It's now 260. I'll wait for 280 to break first, then come and buy it as a test of support. Okay, so that's it simple. Now, HODL portfolio, I'm not going to do a HODL stream today because it's a banking holiday. So I'm just going to focus on letting the market do its thing. But I'll do Solana because it's a big mover for that HODL's sake. What have we done? We've had a long Solana accumulation, and price is breaking out of that range. So I'm just going to switch off the trend scope real quick. I'm just going to move it to a simple analysis like that. So you can see the shakeout occurred. It maybe went a little too deep to make people feel uncomfortable. And now we're trying to leave the range. We're trying to leave that range. So Solana should not, if it wants to remain bullish, it should not fall back below these levels. Okay, it's simple as that. So 245, anything below that area on the HODL side of things, you want to try and grab it there on the basis that you've got this entire range where it could still chop around, but the closing, the daily closing, remember there's 13 hours left before the time closes. That closing still needs to happen above this green line, because as long as it does that, it's going to keep on tracking the momentum as it keep on moving. Now, interesting thing for you guys, just to say why I'm not looking at Solana, why I'm looking at Ethereum. When we try and date when the breakouts happen, okay? Now, we all know Bitcoin moves, everything moves in that essence. But if you think about this, Solana started moving around the 13th of October, and it went about 18th of March, and it did 1,000% last year. Okay, amazing. If I then compare that to Ethereum, that same move, okay? So the 13th of October, there's the 13th of October. Let's just get it there, boom. 13th of October till March 2024, 150%. So Solana is the first mover and the first igniter, okay? So Solana has already done an insane amount of gains for a lot of people. So it's going to be much harder for Solana to give you another 1,000%. Whereas your Ethereum and stuff like that, they will have the opportunity to do that. A good example of this and a supporting example of this is if I were to have gone to Cardano. If we look at Cardano during that same time when Solana did 1,000% fast, okay? 13th of October, I'm just going to try and get it as perfect as I can, to the March pump, okay, 230%. But the last time round, that was Cardano's time to start speeding up. And you can clearly see the momentum is with Cardano in this sense, where if you think about Solana, what it's doing now, you know, where's the percentages? 55%. It's not the same, you know. So, sorry, I marked on the wrong place. Let's get the right one there. It's not the same, 80%, okay? So your other coins, they're going to have their moment in the sun. And that's what ultimately makes it so extremely hard getting out of a bull market top. Because what's going to happen is one coin is going to start moving into complacency. And then another coin is going to start pumping, tricking you, trapping you, giving you that false sense of security, because the other coins are going into all-time highs and giving me 1,000 X's. And that's why it's important that when the move happens, when there's strength in this area, to take profit as it goes up, so you don't have to deal with this complacency bullshit that's gonna influence everybody at that stage. And I promise you, that's how it's going to track you. Okay, you're going to be in something, the profit's going to be good, and something else is going up 1,000%. So it has to still be bullish. And then all of a sudden, everything's just going to turn on you. And then you're already locked into that emotion that it just needs to cool off. It's going to come back. And then anxiety, denial, and panic, those things happen overnight, and it's just going to wreck you. So keep in mind, as I always say, the bigger picture analysis that I have with Bitcoin and the halvings, the time analysis. Keep in mind that while we're in this area, so it's just loading real quick, Bitcoin's flying, we're running out of time. October's coming, the coins are going to start pumping. I will move away on my buying pressure away from Bitcoin now into the other coins, because it's time for them to move. Okay, it's as simple as that. Let's remove the RSI, let's bring in the dominance. It's time for them to move. The dominance needs to start breaking down now, okay? And I'm waiting for Ethereum to move that. So I'm selling my BTC into ETH to try and get in on that, because ETH is going to easily give me a 5x to a 10x on my BTC holdings. Then I can take profit on that thing and start looking at the other coins to move through the money flow diagram. Now, this is how the money flow diagram works. Bitcoin first. Everything is Bitcoin. Now Solana is waking up. I'm waiting for ETH to wake up. Then it's going to be more large caps, coins on the Ethereum network, coins on Solana network, and then the small caps, the ones that make the headlines and sell people on the idea that being in crypto is amazing. You know, the 10,000 X's. And then you need to be out. So you need to take profit and get out as it goes through these phases. So don't lose sight of that, okay? And then I'm going to just bring this whole thing back to BTC. So full round, let's take away all this other stuff. You're looking for momentum play, but you need to understand that the next 6 months is going to be life-changing money. But if you do not take profit on the way up, you're going to give it all back, okay? Over to the comments. Let's quickly see about 300 people joining in live this morning. Yeah, let me know where you're at, what you're holding, and so forth. I'd love to just see where you guys, what you're tracking. And that's it. And while I do that, just as a quick reminder, if you support the content, very simple. You support me, I support you, okay? Open your Prime account. Come trade with me on Prime XBT. That's where I trade leverage, okay? This is a trading podcast. This is why I trade, physically trade, okay? If you do that, you can head over to my Discord and you can go and click on links to everything and additional descriptions is in the video description, additional info, okay? And you can go and you can get this indicator by doing this, that. Okay, so read through that, you can get this indicator. What does this indicator do? It's buddy on the 5 minutes. I'm just going to use this breakout as a good example for you, okay? So this morning, what did it do on the 5 minute? Okay, so let's move on there. It gave you strong bullish divergence. At that line, it said, okay, enter. Now, nearest makes no difference. You potentially got stopped out if you were too greedy, and if you were wise, as I always say, just give a little bit of extra meat is what the analysis gives. You would have been in the long, because the buy zone says buy between 103,000 and 100,300 and 100,900, okay, for BTC. And you would be tracking that Bitcoin trade still, TP1, TP2, TP3. So you would have TP'd at 105, okay? In addition to this, it would have given you another buy zone at around 101. Now, depending on which exchange you are, Some might have get filled, some might have not filled. It's one of those things. And it would have given you 2 short potential opportunities where you would have stopped out. So here you would have made your full 10 risk to reward ratio. I think it's 7. So it means if I spend $100 in here, by the time it hits TP3, that $100 will be $700. Okay, great. And the other 2 TPs means that you would be down $200. So it still have made $500 for the day just tracking the buddy. Okay, it's as simple as that. And in addition to this, it gave you big breakout momentum, SO3s, none of them got filled. And the one that's currently getting filled is this one. So it went into the buy zone. Tickle TP1, you're still waiting for TP2, TP3 happening. And that indicator is simple. You can use that indicator on everything. Solana, XRP, any coin that you want to try and get in. So, and you can use it on any time frame as well. So even if you want to try and get in on the bigger time frames, let's go Solana daily time frame. You can have a look at, so when this thing is starting to flash buy zones, there's hidden bullish divergence. You can get in at the right time and trade these things. Okay, so it helps you navigate the market. Okay, so that's as simple as that. Let's quickly get to your comments. Let's see. What do you think about Trump woman meme coin? Now, look, meme coins, think of it like this, okay? Do you want to make money? Yes, buy some. But buy some with a plan. Buy with a strategy so that you can get in, TP, get out, okay? Because you'll never, ever be able to buy this on the weekend, on a weekly time frame, and then ride that thing right to the tippy top and then sell everything. There won't even be enough liquidity for you at the tippy top to sell it. So make money on these things. What is a meme coin? It's a community rallying behind an idea, and it's basically a Ponzi scheme for the better of it, because as long as more people come in, everybody makes money. But as soon as people leave, the whole thing collapses. Evidence everywhere. So understand that this is one facet of the crypto market that's exciting and really good, but it's not sustainable. Okay, so you want to try and diversify in that, grab these things, try and go ballistic, but just know what they're there for. Okay, it's a Ponzi. Buy it, you can sell it. Simple as that. Okay, my concern for altcoins is Trump and Melania coin. They'll probably do the whole bloody Trump family. Yes, true, but you know what we had in the previous, we had ApeCoin, and then we had Decentraland, and you had these narrative around crazy images. Some of these images was stupid images for me, okay? What Daft Punk, and that was a load of bullshit, okay? But looking back at the previous bull market, those things made a hell of a lot of money for the guys that traded them correctly. So there's nothing wrong with that. Just understand, manage your risk, and then say thank you for that, because it's creating excitement. It's creating a Ponzi. You can get in early. You've got the TA and the knowledge and the base to navigate that enough, but just don't think you're going to hold it indefinitely. It's the premise for Dogecoin or anything else, okay? Let's see what else we have. Hey, Vitaly, nice to have you back in the live. Liesel's here. Possius. I haven't seen this name before, but smash. Listen to the man. He knows what he's talking about. Right, guys, will there be a stream this afternoon? No, because today is banking holiday in the US, as I said a little bit earlier. So I assume it's going to be a little bit of a choppy move. I'm going to take the day, focus on a few other things. Tomorrow we'll be back, and there will be a stream in the afternoon. Okay, thanks so much for taking the time. Looking at the markets with me. I extended this stream a little bit longer. You can see on the 5-minute Bitcoin is just flashing in another buy zone, guys. So the buy zone just went active. So using the buddy indicator is very simple now. It's locked in. It won't ever move that lines again. That's there. So if that buy gets tagged, there's a little buy zone for you. So you can buy it at $107,000, 0.5, and you can start trading this thing. So this saying on the 5-minute Bitcoin is going to hit at least 110, 115 today. Fingers crossed. Okay. And that's it. Remember, guys, treat strong bearish divergence. That's basically the closing thing for today. If we're going to start moving into a bull cycle, you treat this strong bearish divergence as a bullish signal. You do the opposite. People look at this and they think they need to short. Treat it as bullish, because this thing's going to keep on chopping people up as it goes. Okay. Cheers, guys.
I'll keep hustling.
Subscribe now.